What's going on, guys? Jamie Makin and the husband. And guess what? Today, we're doing letters. We're doing fonts. We're showing you how to use the fonts and how to layer everything up and keep it all straightened together.
Yes. I know that some of you have gotten some of our fonts for Christmas presents because I sold them to you. Actually, I sold them to your loved one that gave them to you.
Because I sold them to you.
But the fonts are a really great way to add some customization to different things. And in fact, that's how we did that.
Ta-da!
So let's show you how to cut them apart, how to label them, how to use them on chalkboards and fabric.
All right, we'll get switched over.
Okay, so you can tell that we have multiple sizes in fonts. This is our rustic font, which is a little bit bigger, and then this is the modern font, which actually pairs very nicely with a lot of the fonts that are on the designs that are like the full design. Okay, so when you cut these apart, you'll get, these come in one huge, big sheet, which you already know because you have it in your hands. And you're going, how exactly do I use this? You'll see every one of the letters is kind of outlined by a white line. You can take a pair of scissors and cut through every single one of them, cut all of the lines, and you'll end up with individual letters. But before you actually take them off of the backer, if you have letters like the H or the I, pick a side. It does not matter which side because typically they're, the whatever way. And put a little line. You can see it better on this one. Put a little line underneath so that you know what the bottom is. And then on the back, put the line on the same side. So when you've washed these and you go to put the paper back on, you know which way it goes and you don't have to twist and turn and guess.
Which up is up and which down is down.
Exactly. And you'd be a little surprised on how many letters you need to do that on. But if you ever are guessing, just do it on all of them. Okay.
So what are these called? Registration marks.
Yes, they are. I couldn't remember.
A new one.
I couldn't remember. I'm glad you knew.
So what they are is basically they are little ways to line them up. So when you put them down, it'll actually make a circle and helps lay everything out. Which my lovely wife is going to show you here in a moment because it's much easier to see than it is to talk about.
All right, so we're going to do this on, this is the Odette 6x18. We're going to do it on here because it's washable and I don't necessarily need a sign that just says hi.
Well, that'd be funny. Just hang it by the front door.
I mean, yeah.
Hi.
Just hi, welcome. All right, so I'm not really super worried about lining it up. When you do this for real, you will be. Okay, chalk paste because we want to wash it off. And then, oh no, Jamie, you went over those weird marks. I know, I meant to. Because
it's awfully nice of you to do their part of the conversation for them.
Yeah, I'm helpful like that. Because here's what happens when you peel it up. Oh man, you wrecked your design. But not really, because we're going to let that dry. And then you're going to take this guy and you're going to match that edge and that edge to these edges. See what I mean? So you can kind of see them. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to be a little hard to see, honestly.
Sometimes it's easier if you actually go over top of the one that's down on the board. Like you would take the I and go over top of the registration marks for the H and kind of pull it back just a little bit afterwards. That way you can kind of line yourself up.
And see, I'm going to bring it up so you can see. See how you can see the registration mark through there? That means the bottom is over this way too much. So I need to lift it up and push it that way. So it helps you keep the spacing at the top of the letters and at the bottom. So I'm just going to do this so I can actually see.
Don't mind my head.
Don't mind my head. Once you get the hang of the registration marks, they're magic. There we go. Okay. And since that's the end of the word, I don't actually have to do the registration marks on the other side. but I'm going to do them on this side so you can see how they lined up. I will tell you also that once you get used to how the letters should look with each other and things like that, you may choose to pick your own registration site. There's one font that I like it closer than they put it, and you'll get used to that the more you play. So see, we made complete circles-ish. It's kind of an ellipsis, but but that's how I know that they are actually lined up pretty much where they're supposed to be. But don't worry, you don't actually have to keep those on there. You can take your board eraser and wash the registration marks away. This is making a giant mess because I didn't want to get too much water on here. Right, so there you go. A little bit of water and...
Clean the registrations right off and you're good to go.
Yep, and you can use your board eraser or a paper towel, wet paper towel. I would suggest, if you're going to use your board eraser, cut a small piece out so you have a little more control and kind of a pointy end.
Get into the fine detailed areas.
Yep. And then you can wash these and...
You're good to go.
You're good to go.
Okay, now we're going to do it on some fabric.
So with fabric, we can't put those registration marks in the ink because it'll stick to the shirt and we can't get those off. But I'm going to show you a little trick because you can still use them. You know, I should have used the shirt that we have for Louie.
Oh, we should have put the dog on there. That'd have been funny.
All right. So we're going to assume that this shirt has been wrinkled free.
Washed and ironed and ready to go.
Yeah. And, you know, whatever. Whatever. This is going to be your secret weapon for individual letters on t-shirts. It is. Oh, Jabus.
Washed out so you can't see it. This is washi tape or placement tape.
Right. This is our Chalk Couture placement tape. Yep. Washi tape. So what you would do is if you figure out, say we want the top of the design or top of the words to be right here. I don't need that much. We're going to also pretend that that's in the center.
So, pro tip. When you're going to do your layout on your shirt, actually take the shirt, set it on you, put the washi tape on you so you know exactly where it is. Then put it down and do this.
Yeah. We actually have a video showing all that.
We do. I can link that above here in a second.
Okay, so we're pretending that this is straight. But this is where we want the top of the letters. So you'll notice that there is some space between the registration marks and the first letter. So when you're doing multiple lettered words like this, I also suggest starting in the middle and then going out so that you can judge where the middle is. So we would actually start with the O. And you would put your registration marks on the washi tape. That way you can actually ink through and line them up with these two letters afterwards. Now it's up to you if you want to do 2 lines. It will help keep you straight in both directions. So I would, but you don't have to. You just may end up a little wonky.
Letters may tilt just a little bit.
Yeah, and it's fine because you know what? These are homemade, not machine made, and it's A-okay. So if you do wanted to do another line, I would put the first letter down and then figure out where your tape needs to go. Put it there. Lift this up so that you don't miss. And then, ta-da. See?
And then your registrations will just transfer onto the tape. Pull the tape when you're done, and you'll be good to go.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll have a beautiful dog shirt.
A dog shirt. What better than a dog shirt? I'm going to switch this back over.
Okay.
So that is the super simple way to use the letters and to make yourself a custom t-shirt or custom whatever you want to make.
Yeah.
If we didn't cover something and you have questions, put them down below. We'll check on them.
I have one more thing I can share.
Oh, extra ones just in case you have this question.
So there's 26 letters and a bunch of numbers and some symbols and things that come with all of these. So after you've washed them, which we'll also link a video right here to tell you how to care for them, once you've washed them and get them back together, stick them in just a Ziploc bag. Little sandwich sized baggie will hold all of these. It'll keep them all together. You've got all the letters in there. They're all labeled, and you can just pull out what you need for your project.
Awesome. Well, again, if you have questions that we didn't cover, let us know down below. We'll be sure to answer them for you. And thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah.
So we'll see you on the next one.